Hey folks, MACT here, and of course, what powers your drive? Remember, whatever you do, go to MACTFORDEDGE on Facebook and join, because if you're watching this on YouTube, that's really the only way you're going to get a hold of me. Just trying to funnel everything in there, and of course, we got a lot going on. I did manage to get back from Omaha, Nebraska, because I spent a whole week there, or 6 days actually, and made it back, and I'm happy to get back Friday at about noon, and that was, of course, an eventful trip. Got horrible gas mileage going over there, and I got even worse because I posted that I put in some Casey's gas in my tank, and I couldn't even get 18 miles per gallon coming back. And I was going against the wind on my top tier going to Omaha. So, yeah, go figure. Gas makes a difference, apparently. But let's see. First things first, before we start chit-chatting, I know you all going to take and, of course, put some stuff down here. And I got my phone. I'm trying to see if that will, of course, rejuvenate and keep me track of any postings that you folks are making. And of course during this live, but yeah, it's all fun. But go ahead and of course let me know what you got questions on, and we'll of course try to follow what you all are saying. I got to keep refreshing my computer here to figure out what you're doing. Carrie Jones says hi. How you doing, Carrie? You figure out your problem with your 2008 yet? You got about 210,000 miles on that son of a gun. So you're getting up there, but hey, keep on trucking and get it fixed. Real quick on the rules and everything else, this lug nut giveaway. Yes, that means those acorn nuts, black in color, that will fit the 2007 through 2014 Ford Edge with the lock set that goes to them, about $70 retail value. Is going to be drawn tomorrow, yes, and then we of course will have another drawing right after that for a second set of lug nuts of your choice for your vehicle. So if you have a Dodge, then we'll put it on your Charger. You know, whatever the case may be, a Chevy, Geo Metro. Do they still make those things? And then, you know, I know Mano's got a Chevy Vega Cosworth hid in his garage someplace. And if you guys don't know what a Chevy Vega Cosworth is, then look it up. He's lucky he doesn't kill himself in that thing. I heard they rusted as soon as they came off the line. Holy cow. But anyway, that is the second drawing. Now, there could be a third drawing, and I will put this out here. The third drawing will only happen if there are 600 or more registered folks on the map. Okay? Has to be 600 for it to be a third. If there are not 600, then there's not going to be a third. So we're at 411. So that means about 200 people out of the 2,100 almost members in this group, y'all need to get hot and get registered. And the only reason we're not going to do it is because you chose not to. So, you know, it's free stuff, folks. It isn't hard to register, and as with all things, you know, do it. You know, nothing holding you back, and no double registering. We already got that. Oh, excuse me. Just had a bite to eat. There's no double registering because we've already got that figured out. And if you've registered already, that will be removed. So there's only one entry per person, per email address, etc., etc. So, you know, be fair about it. But anyway, there is a chance for a third, but only if we get up to 600 registered and documented people in the MAP program. And we have the MAP program there. If you don't know where it's at, ask and it will be posted for you. So you can do it, and probably in this video. I think maybe Kevin will post it so that you all can find it in this video that's Facebook Live, so that we can tell what's going on. And this way we can decide tomorrow who's going to be the winners. Yes, winners as in 2. That's always a good thing, right? More than 1. But the first one definitely wins the DP Accessories lug nuts, and that will be, of course, black ones. So can't reiterate that enough. They are black. But the second ones could be chrome. They could be black. I don't know. They're not going to be gold. They're not going to be silver. they're gonna be lug nuts. But hey, if you're looking for a good set of aftermarket ones, then I'm sure you will be happy with them. So, but we want to get it up to 600 to get that third drawing going. And of course, you guys want to know what it is. Hey, guess what? It is a surprise. So whatever you do, I know you'll like it. And you know, whatever, you know, whoever gets it will like it. So and they'll be happy for it. And if they're not, then they can sell it at a garage sale. I don't know. Whatever they want to do. Auction it off. But, you know, that is what the prize is a surprise prize. So 600, 600, folks, on the map. Then we can do the drawing. And, of course, there's no limit to where we send them. And, of course, shipping will be paid. So these are absolutely free to you, folks. And it is only on this group. That's it. Where I'm not putting this on YouTube and not advertising on other Ford Edge groups. This is only for you folks. This is your deal. So, you know, trying to make this special for her to make the MACT Ford Edge Facebook group special for everybody. And you guys are special, so I want to treat you right. And what do we got here? I got somebody riding me. I think it's Jan King, the king of plush steering wheels, purple dice, purple seat covers, and purple fuzzy steering wheel covers. He says, do we need to check to make sure we are there? I was like one of the first 2 or 3 to put myself on the map. Jan, go to the map and look for yourself and verify you're there. And you will, and if nothing else, ask Kevin, and he will tell you whether or not you're on there. But if you put yourself on and you haven't checked, then he'll just delete you off if you're already on there. But go ahead and look at the map. It is pinned to the top at the pin section, and the map is right there. You can click on that, and you can tell just by going to the area you live, clicking on the little highlighted little marker, and see if you are on there. And if you are on the marker, then you are registered. That's all you need to do. Let's see, Antonio. Antonio wants to shout out his name of his YouTube channel. Let's see, what is he called it? Tony B. Ford Edge. Okay, Tony, I just shouted you out. Anyway, let's see, Carrie. Carrie's taking his edge to Jim's transmission. Well, Carrie, hopefully he understands the 6F50 transmission and doesn't say, well, it's not working, let's replace it. So make sure old Jim is on the top of his game there. We see a lot of folks, you know, saying, hey, can't figure it out, let's just replace it. That's shooting a parts cannon at it, you know, in my opinion. Yeah, shooting a parts cannon. That's an answer for somebody who doesn't know the answer or know how to fix it. So, Carrie, that's my advice to you. Make sure Jim understands all the ins and outs of the TSS and OSS sensors, and the TCM and everything else, reprogramming, and all the things that could happen there. Just make sure he's knowledgeable in that. You should be all right. What else we got here? Anybody else got questions? Oh, while we're waiting, I got this here. Yes, I got this thing. I'm not sure what it is. It says Snap-on. I was sent this, and I thought at first my doctor sent it to me, because, you know, if I had not gallstones, kidney stones, you got the screen in there, you pee in it, and then it collects the kidney stone. But that wasn't what it's for. I guess it's for oil. So you know, this can screw into your top of your you know, your crankcase or valve cover, and then you can just dump the oil in it. And if you got to have an angle, it can go at an angle so it's upright, and then you can do it that way. I got to put a little oil on here because it doesn't fit real good. Pretty tight, but it'll slide right in there. And it's all snap-on. It is an appreciated gift. I did not buy this. Steven sent this to me because he says, once I try this snap-on funnel, I will ditch the funnels that I currently have in my toolbox and will never change back from these funnels again. And apparently they work with Ford and GM is what it says on there. So thank you, Steven. I appreciate it. In my very next oil change on Blueberry, I will use that. And of course, if you want me to, I'll even make a video of me using it so you guys can see that. And then, of course, you know, see how it works. See if it's better than my 99-cent funnel that I have that I've been using for a while. It could, you know, it looks like it'll be better. I will admit that. It does look like it'll be a lot stabler than what I've been using. So I appreciate that, Steven. Thank you so much. Let's see, what else do we got going on here as far as other things? Wow, I think, getting up there. You got the most number of viewers I've had in a while, which is good. You know, so anyway, anybody got any questions? Kerry says he's going to make sure his mechanic is doing good. Other things that, of course, working on and got it. I have the rotors. And I don't know if I showed you the rotors or not. I took pictures of them, and I got those all set up and ready to go. So, you know, I just got to buy some clips. I have to get online and buy those clips. And then, of course, I may even put some new boots, caliper pin covers on there, and along with those boots, because, you know, they got 130,000 miles on them. Might as well change those while I'm at it. But what else do we got going on? Anybody? Yes, I'm begging for you. Oh, something else I wanted to remind you all of. The first order of the t-shirts went out. And by all means, folks, if you really, truly want to take and do it, think and buy a MACTFORDEDGE t-shirt, okay? You know, I went through a lot of effort to put this together, so I'd hate for it to really be nothing. So I've got a few shirts sold, I think half a dozen so far, and would like to see if more of you would participate in that. I know it costs money, and you don't like me that well, and why would you wear my shirt and all this other good stuff, but hey, takes time and effort, and tried to make them as, you know, what my vision was. May not have been your vision, but I made them my vision. I think they do cover the group well. So if you get a shot, go to AK Printing at the link up above in the pin section, and click on that, and it's simple. And it's guaranteed, folks. Amanda is part of this group, and she is the one in charge. And she will ensure you get it. It is an established company and a good company. So they already went out, folks. And some of you may have your t-shirts already. I understand in watching some of the shipping details that the snow has slowed them down. But I am pretty sure one of the members will receive his t-shirt tomorrow. But if you've received it already, let everybody know that you got your t-shirt. Help me show everybody what kind of t-shirt you got, what you think about it, and everything else. You know, I want to make sure it's a good product, and I am assured it is. And it's just like what I have on the first shirt. So, you know, my spiel on that, can't get enough publicity on it. So I want you all to go out and buy t-shirts. Do I have to beg, please? But yeah, yeah, my whole life savings is riding on this. Not really. Okay. It's just something I did. I wanted to give y'all something to go with this. So, you know, I think y'all like it. But anywho, who else has got anything to say? Or is this just going to be cray-cray, right? That's my littlest one. My youngest daughter says, cray-cray. Daddy, you're cray-cray. Anyway, let's see. What else we got? Antonio. Antonio says the headlights he installed were a disaster. He's now looking for new headlights. So, he says people in front of him used their pull tabs on the mirrors to reduce glare. Plus, one of the fans blew out. So, his lights have failed. And the lesson learned, Antonio, gotta buy aftermarket headlights with projectors and then HID. You will be fine. Do not put HID in those regular reflectors. They will just make people mad at you and incite road rage. So, lessons learned, Antonio. Yes. Antonio, you're young, I know that. Listen to the group and learn, and you will find your decision-making process is a lot better. So listen and do what we say, and you will be fine. So I understand you're ambitious, but you know, sometimes you just got to listen to us older folks. We know what we're talking about. Anyway, keep that in mind, Antonio. Ricky Rods asked Jan if he needs some lug nuts. I had to change that. Anyway, Cody wants to know if he has navigation set up. Well, Cody, the easiest way you can tell if you got navigation set up is to go onto your touchscreen, hit navigation, and if nothing pops up, you don't have navigation. All you'll end up with is a longitude and latitude location, and then you don't have navigation. Unless it says, hey, I don't have a navigation card installed, therefore I can't start the map. Then you may have navigation. But then you got to go out and buy the card. So the card's going to cost you, I think online you can get it for like $65, but if you go to Ford, you'd be paying well over $100 for that nav card. Or you could maybe find a used older one if that's what you want to do. But the easiest way is do your touchscreen, go to navigation, and if it doesn't pop up, it just gives longitude and latitude like my Edge does, then you don't have navigation. I'm talking about D's nuts again. Yes, Kevin, I am talking about them. And I'm just nutty that way. Oh no, I've become, oh no, I can't go that route. Anyway. Let's see, Jan decided he wanted to order the tire stems, the latest video I put out. I bought those little caps that you can put on your valve stems to tell you when your tires are low. Low-tech way to do it, but hey, they seem like they've been working. I've been driving with them on there for, what, 3 weeks now, and they seem to be working. They go through the car wash, everything, and working good, and I like the one on the spare tire especially. You just flip that thing up. If it's green, you know your spare tire's good. You don't even have to break out an air gauge or anything. You just look at it. If it's green, hey, we're good to go. See, Kevin's checking. He's going to give me an update on how many are on the map. So if you're watching this, you all should really register while you're watching and listening so that we can get this map. Let's see if we can get 100 people in the next 45 minutes or so. That would be great. We still got to get to 600 by tomorrow at the drawing time. And when I go live tomorrow, once I go live, the drawing add-on is done, okay? We got to have a few minutes to put things together. So once I go live, entries are done. Just keep that in mind. So when you see the entry time starting, or the live starting, your time's up. You'll have the countdown clock, It'll tell you 3 minutes, 2 minutes, but once we get started, it's all over with. So then we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to use a random number generator based on the number of people that are in there. So I will just click a button, enter in the number of people, and then I'll click it again, and it will run through its thing and say what number wins. And then we'll go down the Excel sheet, and the number in the position of the Excel sheet is the one that wins. It's that simple. Nothing complicated about this. I don't know what the random number generator is going to do, so it's all luck. Let's see. Kevin says we are stalled at 411, so we got 411. Anybody, you guys watching this, make sure pass it on and everything else, and do it. And just to reiterate, it is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time is when I'm going live, and it is a Facebook event in the events calendar here for MACTFORDEDGE. So that is what we got going on there. Now, I ain't got any questions here, so I'll go over couple things that ran through today, talking about batteries. And I did a little more research on the batteries and everything and alternators. It was rather amazing. I chose like a 1980 Ford Mustang as an example, but you know, it's simply amazing at the power that back in 1980 I mentioned that the alternator for that Mustang put out 60 amps, folks. 60 amps. And it was basically hardwired, direct charge to the battery, and that's what it did. Okay? And of course, all power passes through the battery pretty much. So it goes, it was powering that 60 amps, doing good. But then we go fast forward to what, 30, 40 years ahead from 1980, and and our alternator for the Ford Edge for like the 1.5 gen is the standard one is running 155 amps. The Sport is running 175 amps. So that ought to give you an idea just how much power the new cars require. And it's just not the Ford Edge. This is across the line. All new cars require so much more power. And what have they done with the batteries since 1980? Wet cell lead acid batteries. What have they done with them? What have they done to make them better? And the answer is not very much. Standard wet cell lead acid batteries have not really improved a whole lot. Some, but nowhere near what the power demands have increased at. So here we got the case of a power cell that has not improved much, but the demands have went from 60 amps to basically double or triple the amount of power required now, from 60 all the way up to 175. That's 3 times the power requirement off of the same battery type. And that's where I keep saying the AGM battery is probably a better choice, in that it is the only battery that has been modernized, has been allowed technology to try to keep up with the power demands that the vehicles are now putting through the alternator to power everything. So that alone ought to convince you that an AGM battery would be a better solution than your standard lead acid battery. And I will tell you that with an AGM, you don't worry about corrosion as much, because you don't have acid fumes, vapors, you don't have leaking or anything like that. It's a dry battery, so you don't end up with the corroded terminals that you see people having and things like that. That's a bonus all by itself, not to mention a good coating of dielectric grease that I put on everything so that I can stave off that, and others, there's sprays you could put on there that do the same thing. But I always have a tube of dielectric grease handy, and that's always a good thing because you can use that on everything. But what else we got here? What do we got? I know we got a few other folks signing up here. Let's see. Let's see. AGM to the rescue is what Kevin says. Antonio, Antonio, I'm not going to explain it here, but you're going to end up having to reroute your wiring to a different fuse that does shut off. There are probably some spare fuses that will shut off, and you have to run your wiring. I'm not so sure why you want to do it unless you want to customize something. It's not really, to me, that big of a deal to turn off your 12-volt power outlet for your edge. If you got something in there, I just unplug it. I don't even have a switch or nothing. I just unplug it and plug it back in the morning. It works for me. But if you want it to turn off automatically, you are going to have to do some wiring and look for fuses that do shut off, and there are several, but you don't want to overload them, and you want to make sure that that is taken care of. Otherwise, you just have to have a switch installed or something of that nature. But I'm sure somebody else in the group can tell you what they've done to have theirs turn off, because I think a few have, and that might also help. Jan, you can't find an AGM for your 2010 because you haven't looked hard enough. You're waiting for me or Mano to find it for you. And Mano, I can tell you, has already found an AGM for a 2010. So Mano will tell you exactly what you got to do to get that AGM in your Ford Edge. It's a 2010. It's not as hard as it seems, but it is not exactly conventional. I will say that. But he's got an AGM in his, so I know it's possible. And his is what, a 2007? So I think if you ask Mano, I think it was pretty simple. What you do is you take the old battery out, and then you take the battery tray out, and then you move the hoses and wires back, and then you go in the garage. And then I watched him, and he used a Sawzall and a sledgehammer, and he just sawed into the cowling there a little bit, and then he used the sledgehammer to beat down the rough edges, and then he put that battery in. It fit perfect, buddy. Yeah, he didn't do that. I just had to embellish a little. But there is a spiral round Optima battery that will fit, if I remember correctly. So those are also AGMs, and they will work also. Let's see. Price difference. Ricky wants to know the price difference. Well, Ricky, if you buy the Odyssey Extreme 65 series for the 1.5 gen, that is the biggest battery they can put in it. And that battery will run you upwards of over $270, I think, $280. When I bought mine, they were still pretty pricey, and it was over $300. Comes with a 4-year warranty, full replacement, and SLA batteries do too. But quite frankly, this battery, I have full faith, will last longer than 4 years, whereas an SLA probably won't. Antonio wants to do a dash cam. Antonio, there are tons of videos on the internet on how to wire up a dash cam. And you can do it directly through your powered mirror, so you don't need to go through the 12 volt. So you really need to ask some of the people in this group what they wired their dash cam to. And they went through, I think, the power in the overhead liner and wired it up that way, so that when they, turn off the power, the dash cam turns off. There are also backup battery systems for the dash cam that are sold from companies like Blackview, and they have a lot of good information in their kits too, and you'll spend about $200, I think, for that whole unit or more. So be ready to open up the wallet, as they say. What else do we got here? AutoZone has an AGM 65 series for $190. Okay. I will tell you that I think Odyssey is a U.S. company, U.S. manufactured. So, one, you're not getting anything from China. I don't know where AutoZone sources theirs from, but I do know that Odyssey makes a lot of AGM batteries for other companies under a brand name. So, but there will not be the same as the Odyssey battery. I think Odyssey reserves their top of the line Extreme series to just Odyssey. You won't get them manufacturing an equivalent battery other than Odyssey itself. So any battery that is made that is not an Odyssey and branded will be of a lesser AGM battery for cold cranking amps and things than what the Odyssey is. I think they're just protecting their brand in that aspect, but you know, AutoZone, they've got a good warranty on them too, and it's less expensive. But I will tell you, if you go to Menards and look for the X-Side AGM Edge battery, yes, Edge, just like the Ford Edge. I put one in my wife's. It was $169, I think it was, and it was a 65 series, and it's running like a champ. My wife has not had a problem with it starting, so, and it's got a warranty on it too. So if it fails, you get a replacement battery, and you know, that works for me. So we'll just see what happens there. But let's see. Kevin put down some some information. 750 cold cranking amps, 935 cranking amps. Mine's 950, but he says 120 to 68 reserve minutes based on the amperage or the amps that you're drawing, and he says 3 years for a free replacement. But the Group 65 will not fit in the 2010. Yes, that is correct. Let's see here. Losing track of what's going on. Okay, it's Johnson Controls makes the battery there. Was it X-Side? Johnson Controls X-Side or Johnson Control AutoZone? Not sure which. But yeah, I know Johnson Controls does make a fair number of batteries too for various vehicles. So keep that in mind when you're out there shopping. Batteries, you know, are a tough thing. You know, you got so many of them, and then of course you got marketing and advertising and warranties and Motorcraft and their warranties and everything else. And let me tell you, folks, the warranties don't mean anything. You know, you can go buy the same part at the parts store. One gives you like a 12-month warranty, and it's cheaper. And then you go buy the same part, and they sell it, and it's got a different part number, but it's the exact same part, but it has a 3-year warranty, and it costs more. That's how they do it. Okay, the part ain't any better. It's just the warranty is increased. So essentially, what you're doing is you're paying for the warranty. Just like when you go to Walmart and buy an electronic. Do you want to buy extended warranty on it? They're just not telling you that. That's all there is to that, folks. It's a bait and switch is all that is. You know, I look at it this way. If the part don't fail in 12 months, it's probably not going to fail for a while. Usually they fail right out of the box. You know what they say. What is that? BWD parts. I forget somebody I heard them call BWD parts broke when delivered. So yeah. So you got all sorts of nicknames. You guys go out there. Who buys Dorman? Anybody? Tell me if you're out there buying Dorman parts. You know, they got a bad rep, folks. I just can't tell you enough. They just got a bad rep. That's all there is to it. Let's see. Varta battery. Folks talk about a few months ago, are made by Johnson Controls too. I never heard of a Varta battery, so I don't know what that is, but I've never seen one for sale anywhere. So it's mail order or whatever. Now, I'm going to tell you, folks, one of the biggest issues I got. I ordered my battery off of through Amazon. Now, it's through East Coast Jeeps. And I emailed them and said, hey, what if my battery, dies? Well, first of all, if it dies, I have to take it to some reputable place and get them to do a printout that says the battery has failed. Then I have to submit that to this place, and then they in turn will then get me a replacement battery. But here's the catch. I have to pay shipping for the battery and pay shipping to send them the dead battery. So, yeah. If the battery dies, I'm just going to buy a battery locally through a dealer that like Batteries Plus sells the Odyssey battery. Sears sells the Odyssey battery. Buy it locally, so if it goes bad, you have recourse. If you buy it online, you're out of luck. I'm just going to tell you what I found out on that. I love the battery, but unfortunately, I will probably never be able to collect the warranty just because it would cost me more money than anything to do that, and more effort, because it's a battery. You got to have special shipping. It's a hazardous material. It goes by ground. On and on and on. If you want to avoid the frustration, you just buy a new battery, which is what I would do. But I'm really counting on this one lasting a while. So we'll see. Let's see. Karen Howell. See, I went to the link to the t-shirt website, but there aren't any drop-down menu choices on the screen. It just shows the pictures of the t-shirts. And secondly, I need to delete one of the map entries. We moved to Dillon, Indiana, so I need to delete Lafayette, Indiana entry. Well, contact Kevin and let him know what you did, and he will of course take care of that for you, Karen. As far as the t-shirt thing, message Amanda Spradlin, and she can probably help you that out. And basically all you got to do is type in Amanda. And then just say t-shirt site not working with drop down menu to order t-shirts. And then Amanda can then of course answer up to what's going on with that. So I typed that message in there for you, Karen, so hope she can look at it. If anybody else try the t-shirt website to see if the drop-down menus are, of course, working, let me know. If they aren't, then we can get that fixed here and get that up and running. Wade says he ran dry cell battery way back in the 90s in his 1970 Chevelle. Wade, are we trying to age ourselves here or what? And then, of course, Antonio, holy cow, you got a ton of questions, son. Has rust developing under the hood inside and out. Try to get rid of it, but no luck. You are in luck, Antonio. I can tell you how to get rid of that rust, and it's really simple. Go to Ford and go to the parts counter and order a brand new hood. And then, after you order the new hood, make an appointment for them to then color match and paint it to match the color of your edge. And then once they paint it, then you can take it home and remove the old hood and install the new hood. That is the best way. You're going to rust, Antonio. It's just going to keep getting worse. There's no way to stop that from happening. So that's something you're going to have to, work with. There's no way around it. It's just rusting. It's a common thing. So you're not the only one suffering from that. Just ask the group. They're all suffering from it. They might have ideas what they did to stop it, but rust is essentially a cancer, and it's hard to stop that. And once it gets a hold of the metal and starts oxidizing, it's a runaway train. It's just hard to stop. If you want to slow it down, you could spray the inside where you got access down with fluid film. That'll help slow the rust down, but it'll leave an oily mess. So you got to deal with that. But just spray that inside along the front lip, let it set there, and it'll help protect it and slow the rust down or stop it to a point. So there's no complete cure other than a new hood. That's really what it comes down to. Or body shop, maybe they could tear it apart, but it'd probably be cheaper to buy a new hood at that point. Let's see. Steven. Well, Steven just checking in, saying hi, and then he's got to go drive. Something I do that occasionally. I drive, but apparently he's a fleet driver for mowing. I think they make faucets or something like that, or toilets or something, or all those things. So he's out delivering potties and faucets. Have safe travels there, Steven. Yeah, I really like doing these. You guys asking questions really makes the time go by fast. And as long as you guys keep asking questions, I'll stay on. How's that? If we start going 5 or 10 minutes no questions, I'm going to stop. But if you guys keep tossing questions or comments out there, then we'll keep on trucking up until a certain point. I'll call it an evening, but just answer the questions. Participation is it. Let's see, 2011 transmission is slipping. Let's see, this is from Robert. I don't have enough information on this, Robert. Do you have maintenance history? What do you mean slipping? In what gear? Is it from the start? Is it, if it's from the start at a light, I may have your answer for you and be able to get that fixed. There's a TSB out on that, and I had to have my 2011 solenoid body, or valve body replaced, rather. It was a valve body replaced because, and they had to remove a check ball because there was not a recall, but a TSB on slipping. So let us know what the slipping is and where it occurs at what time. If it's from a dead start, then yeah, I think we can get that fixed for you, but you're going to have to pay for it because you're probably not under warranty. But it requires replacing the valve body and removing a check ball, which the mechanics can do the install on that. Or you can do it yourself, but just buy the updated valve body and follow the directions, and you can do that yourself. It's not that hard to remove the valve body. What else do we got here? You guys hear me good enough then? Is HAL 9000 working? This is for Lego Mike Orr. This is HAL 9000 right here. Yes. 2001 Space Odyssey. 50-year-old movie, no less. And Lego Mike Orr, he spends a lot of time watching Space Odyssey, I guess. But, oh yeah. Let's see. Kevin has a lot of free time on his hands, so he's gonna sit on here and monitor everything and make sure it's going. Did I mention that you guys need to sign up for the lug nuts? Yes, 600 folks. Come on, that's all we got. Watch this, sign up. We can do 600. It can't be that hard to get to 600. We're already at 411, unless you guys are like removing yourselves. But I don't see how you do that, because Kevin's the one to put you in, and he's the one that got to take you out, or take you off the list, not take you out. He's not my hitman. Gotta hydrate, right? Always hydrate. And you guys hydrate while you're working on your edges, right? How many of you hydrate with water? How many of you hydrate with tea? And how many of you hydrate with a soda or a barley pop? I don't know. If you don't know what a barley pop is, then you probably aren't old enough to figure it out anyway. Let's see. Who else do we got? Yeah, Lego's, who knows? He's probably stuck under a Ford Ranger or something. Still trying to change that dash out. Never turns the wheels on concert stoppers. Well, Ricky, let's see. Never turn wheels on concert stoppers. Okay, that one went. I'm not quite sure where we're going with that one. So you might have to explain it to me. I'm a little slow today. So don't get that one, but okay, that's where we're at. Beer all the way, huh? Like a Rolling Stones concert. Beer, beer, beer. I can agree with you, Kevin. Water, water, water everywhere, but none to drink. Where am I? That's the riddle for the day. See who gets it. I did take, I took Rufus, my Ranger, out today. Funny story is I have to drive Rufus on the weekends and as much as I can during the week, because going back a ways, I bought Rufus and I put him in the street, and then the neighbor lady across the street called the cops. She's going to have it towed away as an abandoned vehicle. Oh my gosh. What a fiasco. I was on the road. My wife don't know how to drive a stick shift, and it's going to get towed away in the morning. So she ended up getting a neighbor to move it so that it was in the driveway or something. And anyway, then I talked to her, and you know, things went all right. But in order to appease her, I have to move Rufus. I can't leave Rufus there forever. So I park Rufus in the street, but if I'm home during the week, I just pretty much, I leave Lou parked except for when I'm working. And then when I'm home, I do nothing but drive Rufus on my errands and trips and everything else to keep Rufus moving, which is good for him. He needs to move anyway. But I move my Ranger that I name Rufus all over the place, go do my errands, park him back. She doesn't have a problem as long as Rufus is moving. It's a big game. You know, she's one of the original folks here in the neighborhood. Bless her heart. Good lady, but she has her rules. So you just got to live by them. And she knows what the parking rules are in the city. And by golly, you're not going to win that battle nor that war. So you just work with her. And I don't have a problem. I enjoy Rufus anyway. Took him out and did some donuts today. Yeah, went out, got out there. I even went drifting with Rufus today. Put him in second, goosed it, slid around the corner. I had a great time. He has no weight on the rear end. Nice and easy around there, drifting the corners in the neighborhood. Yeah, just had a great time. I was like a kid again. Yes. Reminded me of my newly licensed high school days. Yeah, I was with a friend of mine, and we were running one time, and he was racing me, and I was in my car, and he was in his. It was like a 1973 or 74 Chevy Impala, you know, the big boats. And anyway, he accelerated. He had a 350 in this thing, and he accelerated, and he lost it around the corner, went wide, and he hit this like 10 mailboxes. I think it was. It was a big string of mailboxes. He nailed them with the back quarter panel on his driver's side, and he took every one of those darn mailboxes out. And then he had to go back in the middle of winter in frozen ground, put new posts in, and buy new mailboxes, and put new mailboxes up with numbers. So he wasn't happy. His dad made him go out and do that. So yeah, my childhood was fun. All sorts of stuff. Telling you all of my dirty laundry now, aren't I? Anyway, yeah. Childhood, high school, all good time. Let's see. Antonio. Holy cow, how many problems you got with your Edge, Antonio? You went to the parking lot and parked with your wheels on a concrete stopper. You turned your wheels and the engine shut off? Well, you killed it, you know. Too much force, too much on the engine, and who knows what you did there, Antonio. Maybe the force of the wheels being turned and your AC defrost turning on at the same time just stalled her. Not that it should happen, but what can I say? Don't know. Anyway, every neighborhood has one. Nut? Are you talking about that, Jan? One nut? Yeah, I guess. Or are you talking old ladies? I got both. There's another one down the road. He's absolutely nuts, but he tends to mind his own business. But yeah, the thing about the neighborly, she's nice. Matter of fact, she's helped in a lot of other ways. It's just she has her rules, and you just gotta abide by them, and there's not a problem. It really isn't. I could be a butthead about it, but you know what? There's a lot more things in life that are a lot more meaningful than starting a war with my neighbor lady. So life's too short for that. So we just move on. Make sure that we abide by what she wants done, which is within the law, of course, and it doesn't bother me. I like driving Rufus, so it doesn't matter to me. But she is original of the neighborhood. She was here when the whole subdivision was built, so that ought to tell you something right there. She's been here for a while, because these houses are built in like the 60s or something. So yeah, she's been here a while. She's the queen of the neighborhood, so to speak, and you ain't gonna get in her way, that's for sure. Let's see what else we got. Antonio, I don't know what to tell you about your questions, buddy. You might want to go down and I don't know, write them down first and then read them and then think about them before you post them. It just doesn't make any sense. It's almost like you're writing to write something. So write it down on paper first. Ask yourself, what would other people think when they read it, and then go from there. That doesn't make any sense to me, what you're saying. So go back, rethink it, and then try again. All right. Who else is doing anything tonight? Any parties going on? Post a picture of what you're doing right now. Right now, take a picture of your toes and what's in front of your toes. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting in a chair. What are you looking at with your toes? Let's see what you guys are doing. None of you'll do it. I know it. Not one person will do that. You're all scared. And that's all there is to it. Jan, you're a chicken. Chick, chick, chick. Yeah, Jan won't do it. He's too chicken to do that. Where is Steven, folks? Anybody seen Steven? Let's see. Kevin says he's got his kid on the tire fixed, something he hasn't ever done before. I guess it's a little background. Kevin is having him, I think he's doing a tire repair kit or something on the tire, so he's having his, not his youngest one, I don't think his youngest son, but might be his oldest one, repairing tire so that he can learn as he goes. You need a teacher. You need to learn. We all learn differently when it comes to car repair. The videos I make probably help, but sometimes, like with me, I may watch videos on how to do it. I will read up on how to do it. I will look at drawings, schematics, read instructions, and there's different people that apply things when they do repairs. It's always difficult because some are really visual learners, okay, and if you show them how to do it and they do it hands-on, they learn very well that way. It's just how how we're wired as far as people. And then you have others that can sit there and read something and evaluate it and then apply what they learned in the reading to the job, okay? And then you got another group of people that can read it, but they can't do the job. Or in some cases don't want to do the job because they've read what it is and they're just scared. So you really have about 3 different groups, let's say, of people that do things. And a lot of times your mechanics will be of the first 2 that I mentioned. The hands-on learners, learn to trade, visual, hands-on and it was passed down. And there's nothing wrong with that. Where it comes in wrong is when you got to read up and maintain new stuff. And that's where the second group of people come in, the ones that can read, evaluate, comprehend, and then apply. And that's where you get some of your better technicians, I think, because they have both abilities to do that in the visual and also the reading and the application. So if you find a mechanic that can do that, that means that person's read up, studied, understands, and stays current. It's easier. The one that's learned and is all visual is not going to be your better technician, in my opinion, because they have to do it, and generally somebody has to show them how to do it. They just don't learn it. How do they get the information to do it? So they may be very good at brakes and doing a lot of brakes because they've done it before. But if you hand them something that's totally new, they're going to have a hard time with that. So you got different technicians in that, and that's something just to read on people when you find a mechanic. Is he just going to go that route and not know what's going on as far as updates? And that's always a problem. And then you got if I take a 1955 Pontiac Chieftain engine into a V8 into a new technician that's like 24 and tell him, hey, I need to have the valve lash adjusted and the studs adjusted and all this other stuff on the heads, this kid's probably going to look at me like I'm with a deer in the headlight look. He has no clue about these old engines. So it's all technician, scanners and modules and everything else. So that could be a problem too. Let's see what else we got. I guess we're going to get feet picture. Oh, I got to start the MACT foot fetish thing. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see. Steven, he's back in Alabama. Good job. You made it nice and safe. It was a great visiting you, Steven, when you came up here. And your mother also. And my wife and your mom definitely got along well. And so glad to have met you. I'm hoping you're better for it as I am better for it. And I enjoyed talking to you, Steven. It was a great time. Let's see. Yes, tomorrow. Let's see, 12. So we're, what? Midnight. Wow. We're only 18 hours away from the drawing, folks. That ain't very long if you think about it. 18 hours the drawing is going to occur. So, yeah, get registered. Remember, 600. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600. And we got a third prize that'll be put out there. Otherwise, will only be 2. So, at 600, that's a 1 in 200 chance of winning. Think about that. How many of you got odds are that good? You're not in the lottery. So, 600, yeah, that's pretty good odds because you're not going to get, no one person's going to win 3 prizes. It's going to be a different one. So if your number pops up again, yeah, don't expect to get a second prize. We want to make sure we share it equally with everybody. So you're out of the running once you win that one. Let's see, what do we got? I got to refresh here once in a while to see what you guys are saying because I can't keep up with it. Oh my gosh. What a toe picture. What a toe picture. That was funny, Kevin. That was funny. Oh, Bailey Ray. She's here. She has a question and she's very excited to ask it. Says, I've been too embarrassed to ask. Oh no, well, do I need to read further? Will it embarrass me is the question. Her color light, her ambient lighting, is not working correctly. Have it set to blue, but the driver's floor is green. If I switch it to red, it's red, and if I switch it to purple, it is purple. It is a different color. The light doesn't look like a bulb I can change. No, it's LED is what it is. That's how they did it. And she's not sure how to fix it. There's a little plastic dot with 2 wires coming off of it is actually fixable. Well, it's not. It may not be the LED. Then again, it may be the LED. The best way to figure that out is to see. One, there is something out about an update to the programming to that to get it to set correctly. And 2, if an LED, since LEDs run a vast amount of the color spectrum for light, and what they're doing is they're using the color spectrum capabilities of the LED light based on what the input is to change the colors. So if that LED is not functioning properly, yes, you could be right. The little LED is done for. But also there's been questions and concerns about the programming when you do change it is not working right. But, it's hard to tell without checking the LED and checking the programming. If the programming is set right and everything's working, then Bob's your uncle. It probably is the little light. And I'm not sure what that part number is. This is the first. Nobody's ever asked that question. So, Bailey, you are the first one to ask that kind of question on MACT Ford Edge. And if it is the LED that, went up. Let's see. Got to roll. Phone is blowing up. Kevin says his phone blew up. That's probably a Samsung anyway. Anyway. What else do we got here? Okay, we've been at it for about an hour. If you guys have more questions, by all means, ask them. We got 7 people, so ask away if you got a question, concern, or just want to make a statement. We can carry this on here. Otherwise, I'll just go upstairs and watch Power Rangers with my 8-year-old, I guess. That's my other choice. So you guys let me know. Do you want me to watch Power Rangers and stop this, or stay on? I'd rather stay here. But anyway, let's see. Nothing else going on here that I see. Oh, Lego's on. He made it. He says it's a Takata phone. Well, that answers why it's blowing up. Holy cow. I didn't realize they made phones and airbags, huh? Anybody here have any luck getting their airbags replaced? Or are they still putting everybody in the back seat? Antonio, you can replace your brake lights with LED brake lights bulbs anytime you want. Simple. Just buy the LED brake light bulbs, pull the old one out, and plug the new one in. But keep in mind that the LEDs are position sensitive. So if they don't work, pull them out and turn them around and then plug them back in, and they will work. So just keep that in mind. Once you get it put together in the housing, double check to make sure that they do work. You don't want to head down the road thinking you got brake lights when you don't. So be very studious on that. But yeah, Antonio, all you have to do is buy the LED brake light bulbs and you should be good. Except you got the newer, or you got the first gen, don't you? Turn signal problems, your turn signals may hyper flash on you too. Just depends. Buy the Phillips bulbs and try that out, and if they hyper flash, you will have to, of course, get a resistor put in. Yes, Lego, Hal 9000 is alive and well. Say hi to Hal. Yes, that is Hal. And he's got the red light going, if you didn't notice. Let me see if I can turn him, and you guys can see Hal's red light. I don't know if you can see his light down here. Hal is angry, Lego. He's trying to come after you. You see that little red light right down there? Yeah, you can see it. So, anyway, we got Hal on there ready to go. And now I got him all messed up. Now he's all loose and stuff. So, anyway, that is what we got. Oh, sushi. Bailey, did you hear about the guy that ate sushi all the time and he developed a 5-foot tapeworm? Just saying. Bon appetit, Bailey. Oh, let's see. Mike, what's good to use to clean cloth seats in the 2014 Edge? I had my 2008 Ford Edge with cloth seats, and they were tan. And tell you what, it doesn't take much coffee to make those things look terrible. I used a, those little carpet cleaners that are portable. That's what I used, and it worked pretty good. You put the shampoo, then suck it up, and then let it dry, and it worked great. That's what I used. Then, if you really want to protect them, Scotch Guard. Matter of fact, I never leave home without it. Protecting your seats, use Scotch Guard. That's what I use to protect the cloth seats. And I just happen to have this here because I was making magic sand with Scotch Guard. You guys know what magic sand is, right? If you got an 8-year-old, you'll know what magic sand is. But anyway, I put that on the seats, and then it doesn't absorb into the seat. If you spill a liquid on it, it sort of beads up. So it does help that way to keep it clean. It makes it easier to clean and absorb up. So clean it up really good, let it dry, and then do a Scotch Guard on it, and that should make your life easier once you get going and doing that. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, Bailey, bon appetit again. Yes, once a month. Okay, it gives you time to figure out if that tapeworm develops. Nothing happens, you're good to go for the next month. Let's see. Antonio says, what is my thought on my car and my wife's car having her mirrors different? Well, Antonio, the only reason the mirrors are different is hers was a January model and they had not implemented the new mirrors yet, and so they were carryovers from 2010 just for those few weeks in January, and then they changed the mirrors, and to tell you, it was a very small time frame because my wife's Edge and my Edge are only 10,000 builds apart from January to February. So in between that time, from her build to mine, they changed the mirrors. And Ford changes things midline product-wise, so not always will you find parts, say a 2011, may technically have two different parts. Just like my wife's and my Edge, they have two different types of mirrors, so therefore you got to make sure you get the right mirror. That's why you always want to verify the part against the part number before you go out running buying parts. Otherwise, you could end up with the wrong part. Who else is chatting on here now? All right. I don't see anybody else asking any questions here. And I'm not going to carry this on too much longer. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. Been on here a good hour now. Unless somebody's got a question, we'll just sign her off and, of course, carry on for another day. Nothing? Remember, I can't stress that enough. Those lug nuts are being put up for a drawing. Of course, for the first drawing, those DP accessories, black acorn lug nuts with a locking nut set with them, $70 retail value more or less. And then, of course, another set of lug nuts for the second person for their choice of vehicle going there. And there may be a third if we reach 600 registered people. If we don't, then there will not be a third. And, of course, that will be about it. So we'll just go from there. But that is it, folks. I'm going to call it a day or a night or whatever it is. Been on here for a while now. So I do, of course, on YouTube want you all to remember that as far as YouTube, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. In MACTFORDEDGE, I do not have the comments activated on YouTube. So if you do want to get a hold of me, of course, you got to join the MACTFORDEDGE Facebook group. And don't forget, folks, yes, buy the t-shirts, MACTFORDEDGE t-shirts. And, of course, they will be delivered to you in the cycle of every other week. And you will be guaranteed to receive them. And they are fantastic shirts. And we also have the Band of One stickers. Yes, we have the stickers, so you can buy the stickers and the MACTFORDEDGE stickers that I still have that are still for sale here too. So you can go ahead and get MACTFORDEDGE stickers. And then, of course, as with all things, we have the Band of One music and all this other things that are going on. Mercy Grill and her one-liners. And, of course, any bonus footage that may be at the end of this video. Who knows what it'll be. It could be nothing. But either way, my feet hit the floor today and I'm having a great day. And I want you all to have a great day, too. With that being said, see you all tomorrow at noon for the lug nut draw, and we'll see who wins. best of luck to you all. Don't forget to register.